picture my pride.
Good afternoon. You guys must have come with such big boxes. All these things you keep coming in with day in, day out. You must have packed a teaching box actually, not just...
That's right. He's a scientist.
Good to see you today.
Good to see you too.
Good to see you too. Nice to see you too.
Do you need to prepare your slides or get your slides out?
Yes.
You just simply tell us when you're ready to go and we'll start the time.
Okay, sir.
Knock, knock, who's there? Okay.
Right, I'm set. Okay, start the class. I have to use my
Lab coat.
lab coat.
And
This
it's-
is
it's
so
branded.
this is the biology lab, and in biology lab we have to keep everywhere white. Okay.
Good. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please say your name.
Yes, my name is Femi Oyedoyin. My name is Femi Oyedoyin from City of Knowledge Academy, Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State, with the code number 008FO. F for Femi, O for Oyedoyin. I am a biology teacher, sir.
Okay. And which class will you be teaching today?
Year 10, SS1. Year 10.
Topic.
I'll be taking microscopy.
Mm.
Microscopy.
So what is the entry behavior of your students? What's the previous lesson they have?
Microbes. Yeah,
Microbes.
we taught microbes. That's the previous.
Okay, so what will be your objectives for this lesson?
Yes, at the end of the lesson, the learners should be able to, one, define microscopy, and two, identify the parts, the major parts of the microscope, then three, state the function of the microscope.
Okay. Very simple.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So I think we need to start the time now.
Okay.
Thank you. We are off.
All right. Good afternoon, class, once again.
Good afternoon, sir.
Actually, you look so handsome this morning.
Thank you.
That's good to see you. All right, now do you remember this? Do you remember this? Do you remember this?
Kind of.
Okay. What can you say about it?
Cells.
Cells. What can you say about it, Bimbo? We did it last week, don't forget. Have we forgotten? Let me remind you, remember COVID-19?
Yeah.
Remember what's that? What's that? Virus! Thank you, Bimbo. Thank you so much, virus. So these are microbes. And what did I say about microbes again? I told you something in particular that you can't use these things to see them. Do you remember? You can see them with your naked eyes. You can see them with your naked eyes. But what would you use to see them? Check this out. What are these items? Identify the items and tell me the odd one. Which one do you think
Things
is
to
odd?
see through.
Things to see through. Which one do you think is odd? What's this?
Microscope.
The mirror.
That's
The mirror. Thank you. Wow. Bravo. I remember the last time I said I'll give it to Colette one time. I'm pretty sure about that. That's lovely. Good. Do you see this? Now, which one is there?
our first one.
The first one. And what is it?
That's
The
Magnifying.
magnifying lens. Thank you, magnifying glass. Good. Now, this is also what? The microscope. Now, what do you think you want to talk about this morning? What do you think you want to talk about?
Enlargement.
Enlargement. And what is that? The term is called microscopy. Microscopy. And these are your learning outcomes. Please take note of them. Now, these keywords are very, very important. These keywords are what? Very, very important. Okay? So this is microscope, the keywords. Please don't forget the keywords. We have the microscope. Okay? Yes, the microscope, magnifying lens, and slide. please make sure you put this down. Those are the keywords. This is the microscope, and this is a magnifying lens. We call it the eyepiece. The eyepiece. Now, in this microscope, there are lots of magnifying lenses. There are lots, okay? Now, I want you to check this out. The parts of the microscope. Look at this scientist. What do you think this scientist is doing?
Looking for a microscope.
Go is looking in through the microscope to get something, and that is why microscopy is a scientific technique used to visualize objects or structures that are small that you can't see with your naked eye. Identify, tell me one object that is very small that you can't see with your naked eye. We did it last week. Don't forget that.
Virus.
Virus! Good. You can see them with your naked eyes. So now these are the parts of a microscope. Today we are not going to be using the microscope to view, but that will be next class, okay? I just want you to identify the parts. So like I said, now look at these parts, okay? The eyepiece. This is the eyepiece, and these are objective lenses. All these, they are objective lenses. There are 3 of them. So you roll them. You can roll them so you can see. Don't worry, you will be able to do this by next class. I will tell you how to use that next class. And this is the stage. The stage is where everything is performed. Now, you have the slides. These are slides. Can you see any of these? Check it out. There are items on those slides actually. There are items, but you can't see them.
Okay.
You cannot see them. Yes, but there are items there. That's the temporary side and slide, and this is the permanent side. But there are items that you can't see. You can only see them with what? The microscope. So this is the base of the microscope. Where is it? Now, if I want to give you a microscope, this is how I'll give it. I turn it to you this way. Bibo, please collect it. Bibo, give it to Tunji. Exactly. Thank you.
Very much.
Tunji, give it back to me.
Okay.
Give it back to me. Now, I want to give it to Choma. Choma, take this. Did I do that? Did I do it right, Choma?
Yes.
No, actually, I'm supposed to give you like this.
Ah.
That's it.
That's right.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Choma. All right. So, now, I want you to identify this part. What is this part for? What's that part for? What do you call it? This part?
Eyepiece.
The eyepiece. The eyepiece. Okay, that's the eyepiece. So, now, identify other parts in your nose. Okay? Identify other parts in your nose. Don't forget that. Identify other parts in your nose. Then after, I'm going to show you all of those things. Okay? Now, I want you to have this. Now, I want you to have this. These are crosswords of all the parts of the microscope. They are crosswords. So, you take it home and you are going to identify the parts of the microscope. So, next class, all these parts, we are going to use them in
Thank you very much, Olufemi Oyedoyin. Good. Okay. Prof, would you be kind enough to start us off on this occasion?
Yeah. Femi Patrick Oyedoyin.
Yes, sir.
So nice meeting you. I think I've been seeing you on the. I've been seeing
Social
you
media.
on the social media.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I think you started very well. This is the first time I would have somebody teach me about microscopy. I did biology, but I can't remember any such. I always, maybe I saw this, I just knew the scientist has showed up, you know. Having said that, I want to say you did very well. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with your ethos, your ethics. Because I would have asked the question too if you were not wearing your white coat. It's part of the things that we examine when we go for TP supervision. So you've done very well. You started off very well, introduced the lesson, and you connected well with the students. Those are the hallmarks of, because the starting, actually what makes the most of it. That's why as a teacher's teacher, I seldom stay more than 5 minutes in any class to examine a student. I've seen that your voice pitch is quite good, but I'm a little, because you need to be able to modulate the pitch. The pitch is high all the time. And sometimes you may not see this, but I've seen it, that when the pitch is high all the time, you may have an introvert or someone who is even seeking for meaning, whose socio-emotional intelligence or capacity is a little low. When they hear your voice, yeah. So you need to modulate it. They want to hear you, but at the same time, they want to feel the warmth in your voice. So, having said that, I think I'm happy with your time management. I mean, you went through everything like a breeze. So, I would definitely score an A. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Strong start. Let's come to you, please, Dr. Tindall.
So, well done. Your lesson was well taught. I particularly liked the very short demonstration of how to give and receive a microscope. I mean, it seemed like everybody should know, but certainly we didn't even know. And you not only talked about it, within the little time you had, you made us give, receive, give a microscope, receive a microscope. And I think that should be the very first lesson that whoever is teaching this should teach, as against just look through it. How do you carry it? How do you put it down? How do you give it to someone else? Very important lesson that you taught there, and you demonstrated that. I like how you sequenced your lesson well, and it flowed. The pacing was good, flowed from one to the other, starting from identifying what was done the previous lesson, the microbes, what exactly are these microbes. So it was a very well articulated lesson. Prof has talked about your voice modulation. As much as teaching is about being on stage, we also need to know that even on stage, there has to be, consistent voice modulation, so that it's not just either at a very high pitch or at a very low pitch. So modulating would help tremendously. So well done.
If you, well, except for maybe Prof, who's done biology as well, if you ask me to label these things, I may get 2 out of probably 10. Yes? Because it's part of what the objectives were. But you glossed over that previous slide, and now you've come to this slide, and you're not even scaffolding for us. So if you put the first letter, the last letter, I might start to make an educated guess. I remember you saying the eyepiece, because you were talking about the magnifying glass. So well done. So you've done the work. Let us do the work as well. You see, teachers do work outside the classroom. And that work you've done in preparing for the lesson, it's the students who work inside the classroom. See, too often, we as teachers, we're trying to do the work in the classroom as well. No, it's time for the students to work. We do our work outside the classroom. You got it? And this was your slide. This was what's going to get you 100%. You used that previous slide and this slide better, 100%. Thanks a lot. Any questions for us? Yeah?
Okay.
Thank you.
Very much. And thank you for the comment.
You're welcome.
Well done.
Yes.